Today's video is sponsored by Cub Cadet. How's it going, guys? Welcome to Ambro's Landscaping YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the steering wheel capabilities on a hillside with the Cub Cadet versus a traditional zero-turn mower. Now, last year, Cub Cadet sent me the Pro Z 972 to test out on hillsides. And one of the things that I mentioned in the video about the steering capabilities was that it was able to maneuver and handle on hillsides way better than zero turns that I've tested out in the past. So I had both my buddy Adam as well as my wife help me out with this video, testing out this mower on some fun little obstacles that we tried out on hillsides to really show how much better it is and how much better it handled compared to a traditional zero turn. Now, the first thing I wanted to test out with the steering wheel was going down the hillside and then turning around an obstacle to go back up. The one thing I noticed about the steering wheel capabilities was because it controls from the front, I was able to hug the corner or hug around the obstacle a lot closer compared to a traditional zero turn, where typically the wheel would lock up because it's trying to hold its body weight as well as turn and pivot and then go back up the hill. So typically that inside tire locks up and the mower, the zero turn, was actually sliding down the hill just a tad. So the Cub Cadet zero turn, I was able to hold on to that corner a little bit better than a zero turn. Now, granted, this is not a scenario that you're gonna see all the time at every single job that you go to, but it is a good way of showcasing how well the front wheel steering is compared to a traditional zero turn. Now, piggybacking off the first test that we had done, I had noticed that going around trees that the Cub Cadet actually did handle a little bit better when not tearing up the turf as much as a traditional zero turn. Like I said, because when you're trying to turn really sharp, that inner wheel tends to lock up and really tear up the turf, where the Cub Cadet, because of its front wheel capabilities, was able to turn around the trees a lot easier. The one thing I noticed with zero turns is that they do really well going up and down hills, but when you tend to go either diagonal or especially sideways, that's where the mowers tend to struggle the most, which is why I like the steering wheel so much better, since it really does control that front end and where it goes so much better, where it's not going to slide down the hill. Now, I was able to ask Adam what his opinion was of the steering wheel compared to a zero turn on hillsides, because for 4 years, he actually did work on a golf course where they do use steering wheel mowers, and he was able to give me his opinion about what he thought of them. So let's go check that out. All right, guys, so we are all done testing out the zero turn compared to the Cub Cadet on this hillside right here. So this hillside, the degrees of it goes anywhere from 25 degrees, of course, down to, well, eventually 0. So we were able to test it out on the steep section and then also the other section, go around the trees to see how well it handles around the trees. So Adam actually used to work on a golf course for 4 years, right? Yep. So you ran steering wheel kind of zero turns because that's typically what they run on those. So in your opinion, I'm gonna put you on the spot, buddy. In your opinion, what do you think handled better on the hillside, the zero turn or the Cub Cadet, the steering wheel? And which one would you rather do when mowing if you were to mow on a hillside?
I'd say the Cub Cadet handled it a little bit better. There's a little bit more control going down the hill than there was in the arms of the Hustler. And I've operated on many slopes when it comes to zero turn type mowers. And I would say you'd have better control with the steering in the hands. Yeah. Very well said. One thing I noticed when testing out the Cub Cadet on a different property, which was my grandparents' property, was that when going down a hill and then going around an obstacle, the Cub Cadet with the steering wheel will actually hold its that corner a lot sharper than what the zero turn would struggle, because it's trying to hold the weight of the mower as well as trying to turn. So it would typically tear up the grass, which we noticed that the Hustler was actually catching up a lot more dirt. But then again, to be fair, the Cub Cadet could have, loosened up the soil, which is why this one is catching it. So my overall personal opinion of the steering wheel is that if I was maintaining a lot more hillside accounts, I would actually purchase one of these steering wheel mowers for that specific reason. I do think that it does have its drawbacks in some areas, especially in tight corners or with turning a lot or small yards. But when it comes to hillsides, I personally think that the steering wheels do so much better than the zero turns, at least the zero turns that I have owned, which is Hustlers. All right, guys, so that is the video. If you guys have any questions about the Pro Z 500 that I tested out, be sure to check the description box down below. I'll leave a link to Cub Cadet's website. Big shout out and thank you to Cub Cadet for sponsoring this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to leave a comment down below of what you think of this mower as well as steering wheels, and I will see you guys next time on Ambro's Landscaping.